Ever wonder how some students manage to study less but remember more? It's not about working harder, it's about how your brain works. Stick with me and I'll show you the psychology behind it. We've all been there, pulling an all-nighter, cramming for an exam, only to forget everything right after the test. It feels like you're wasting hours of study time and nothing sticks. But what if you could actually study less and remember more? Imagine cutting your study time in half and retaining more than you ever thought possible. Sound too good to be true? It's not. It's all about understanding how your brain learns and working with it, not against it. Let's get into it. First off, the reason you struggle to remember things isn't because you're not putting in the effort. It's because you're doing the wrong kind of work. I'm talking about those late night highlight marathons and the read it 5 times and hope it sticks approach. Sounds familiar, right? Here's the thing. Your brain doesn't remember information just because you've seen it 1,000 times. That's not how memory works. Your brain remembers what you actively use, not what you passively absorb. If you're sitting there rereading notes over and over, you're basically letting your brain chill. It's not working hard enough to make those connections that help you remember things long term. But when you test yourself, ask questions, and force your brain to pull information out on its own, that's when it starts to stick. Think of it like a workout for your brain. Muscles don't grow when you're just sitting around looking at weights, they grow when you lift them. You've probably heard of passive review methods, rereading, over-highlighting, and just skimming through notes. While these might feel productive, they're actually not helping you in the long run. Here's why. Passive learning doesn't require you to recall information. It's just you staring at words on a page, waiting for something to click. But that's not how your brain works. Your brain learns through what's called effortful recall, actively pulling information out of your memory and using it. When you quiz yourself or try to teach someone else, you're forcing your brain to do the work. That's how you make the information stick. Studies have shown that this method is far more effective than passive review. In fact, research backs up the idea that self-testing, even for short amounts of time, can significantly improve your long-term retention. That means spending a little time testing yourself after studying can actually make your study time more effective, even if it feels like you're doing less. Now that we understand why effortful recall is so powerful, let's dive into how you can start using this technique in your own studies. Here's a simple, actionable plan that you can easily integrate into your daily routine. Step 1. Test yourself immediately after studying. The key is to do this right after you study. Don't wait until the next day. Why? Because your brain is freshest right after you've learned something. The information is still warm, and that's when it's easiest for your brain to make strong connections. Spend 5 minutes going over key points, asking yourself questions, and testing your memory. You don't need to write out a full practice exam, just focus on the main concepts. Step 2. Use simple tools like flashcards. You don't need a fancy app or tons of notes. Just grab some flashcards, physical or digital, and jot down a question or key term on one side with the answer on the other. This keeps things quick and to the point, helping your brain recall the information more effectively. Flashcards are an easy way to implement active recall, and they can be used for virtually any subject, whether you're memorizing vocabulary, historical facts, or scientific processes. Step 3. Make it a habit. Don't overthink this. The more you make active recall a regular part of your study routine, the easier it becomes. After every study session, take 5 minutes to quiz yourself. Make it part of your routine, like brushing your teeth or checking your phone. If you make it a habit, it'll become second nature. And here's the thing, if it feels a little uncomfortable or awkward at first, that's totally normal. That's your brain working to strengthen those neural connections. Learning isn't supposed to feel easy, but if you stick with it, you'll start seeing results. If you've got any questions about how to get started with active recall or how to test yourself more effectively, drop them below in the comments. I'm here to help and would love to hear how this method works for you. If something about this technique is still unclear, let me know. I'll break it down further. At the end of the day, you don't need to spend more hours studying. You just need to study smarter by working with how your brain learns best. Remember, this isn't a race. It's about making small, consistent changes to how you approach studying. We're all figuring this out together, so don't be too hard on yourself. Study smarter, not harder, and I'll see you in the next one.